Looks like the cards haven't been laid out, but maybe the moment we've been waiting for all these years has finally arrived. If it happens, we'll start preparing for the celebrations. What am I talking about? You'll find out soon. But first, let's talk about Captain America, Brave New World. Anthony Mackie, who was previously Falcon, now has his movie. He started talking about Tom Holland. I had to take my time to feel everything that's happened fully. Tom Holland was right, crossover films are great, but having your movie is a completely different feeling. Tom Holland has experienced this 3 times already, so he's kind of the expert on losing that particular kind of virginity. The next part of Jurassic World had its share of controversy in finding a director. They finally settled on Gareth Edwards, who made the creator. The new Jurassic World movie, rumored to be called Jurassic World Rebirth, will feature a biosphere with dinosaurs and humans trapped inside. There's a key item that could save humanity, adding more thrill. The cast includes Rupert Friend, Jonathan Bailey, and Scarlett Johansson. Now, there are 2 big reasons to watch it: dinosaurs and Scarlett. Netflix's documentary on Vince McMahon, the former WWE chairman, is set to cover all the controversies. They plan to cover every angle from wrestlers to journalists, addressing all allegations. This should be done thoroughly, not half-heartedly. Potential spoilers for Fantastic Four: the first look at the thing has leaked. It seems they are using practical suits and effects rather than CGI. I love that they are focusing on practical effects, making it more realistic. The Crow remake received harsh reviews. The director of the original Crow said the reviews are brutal. He thought it was a cash grab, but apparently, there was no cash to grab. Sometimes, I don't even need to make jokes on movies. Someone asked Zack Snyder if he liked Henry Cavill's portrayal of Logan and if he'd direct a Wolverine movie. Zack replied, "Absolutely, I know that guy. There are many casting choices, but it would be interesting. I mean, I can work with it." The runtime for Smile 2 is 2 hours and 12 minutes, making it 17 minutes longer than the Smile one. A deleted scene from Deadpool and Logan has resurfaced, showing Gambit, played by Channing Tatum, standing in the final battle. He turns his head to see a magical circle from Doctor Strange, indicating a portal. He smiles, suggesting the scene was meant as a post-credit scene for Deadpool and Logan. But knowing Marvel had already complicated things enough, they decided not to stretch it further. About Thunderbolts: initially, people thought Red Hulk, Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, would appear, giving the team its name. But Marvel decided against it, stating that the team name came from Yelena's childhood soccer team. Variety then reported this was incorrect, and Ross would appear, hence the team's name. Details about Vision Quest are emerging. It's rumored to follow the West Coast Avengers storyline closely. If Wanda returns, it might not be as Scarlet Witch but as Vision's wife. In the comics, Vision creates a synthoid named Virginia, based on Scarlet Witch's brainwave patterns. They even have kids named Viv and Vin. Considering this is Vision's story and White Vision is lost, Wanda might appear in a different form. Moving on, The Penguin is releasing in a few months. Colin Farrell has said that Batman will not appear in the series. In his statement, he mentioned that when we watch a Batman movie, it's through Matt Reeves' lens, showing Batman from high above with a different perspective. But in the Penguin series, the focus will be on Oswald Cobblepot, who stays on the streets, so Batman doesn't fit in from Cobblepot's point of view. Just admit it, Matt Reeves didn't permit for Batman to appear. Then there's Edgar Wright, who was supposed to direct Ant-Man but didn't. Instead, he directed Baby Driver and is now set to direct a remake of The Running Man, starring Glenn Powell from Top Gun: Maverick. This story is quite interesting, showing a post-apocalyptic world with criminals in a game of survival. Next up, Badlands movie filming has started. If you're confused, let me simplify. A few years ago, a reboot of Predator was released called Prey. Badlands will be a sequel, set in a different timeline, probably a few years after Prey, maybe around 1719. On the other side, Josh Dunduron Martin has announced he's writing again, but not what you're thinking. He's writing a blog post about what went wrong with House of the Dragon. Now, about Ezra Miller recently, the charges against him were dropped. The person who had initially filed the charges said that everything he had stated was based on witness information, and when the witness recanted, he withdrew his court filings as well. So, it looks like you can shake hands with Ezra Miller again. About Blade, don't expect it anytime soon. As for Invincible, a live-action movie is in progress. If you thought it was cancelled, it's not. They keep teasing information every week without much detail. Lastly, about Sony and Spider-Man creators, there's a rumor that Sony might not renew their deal with Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. It's surprising because they were initially supposed to produce multiple shows and spin-offs. But with Kraven the Hunter and Madam Web coming up, no new live-action Spider-Man movies are planned. Maybe Sony will focus on Beyond the Spider-Verse and hand over everything else to Marvel. If you're thinking that, you're probably right. Enjoy royalties while we enjoy the movies. Also, A Spider-Man noir series with Nicolas Cage is still in development. But every good news comes with a catch. Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4 will start filming next year, set to release on July 2026, between Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars. Sony always wanted a multiversal story, not a grounded one like Marvel planned. And speaking of habits, why not make a habit of liking the video? It only takes 21 days to form a new habit. That wraps up this week's epic journey through the multiverse. If you enjoyed the ride, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Until next time, stay super, stay awesome, and we'll catch you next week with more mind-blowing news from across the verses. This is Quipverse, signing off.